It is always so fun for me because I never know who's going to show up. Like, I never know. Like, who's going to show up? I don't know. And today we have with us the incomparable healthy eating, emotional eating coach, Monique Arpagon, and the queen and PhD of food studies and all that is, the Reverend Dr. Jennifer Lynn Oliver. Yay! Neil said he can't get in. I don't know why you couldn't get in. Everybody else got in. Click the link and you can get in. If you get in, I promise you I will roll that 30-second sucker back and we will do it one more time. While Neil figures out if he can get in, let me tell you all, I'm starting to do this thing now where I'm saying why I'm dancing. Right? Because you all know, as a mindset coach for me, everything is about our big fat why, right? What's our intention? And so, good morning, everybody. And so I was thinking about it this morning, and I think it's important for us to share the why, because I think it might liberate some people. So if you all don't have a big mind explosive why, don't even worry about it. But I wanted to share my why. Oh, yes. Haha. What's up? Wait a minute. Save it. Hold it. Don't let it all loose yet. Don't let it all get loose yet. Because I was just saying, Neil, as you were trying to get on, that what I wanted us to do, I'm going to roll back this 30 seconds and we're going to do it one more time. With you in the room. But after that, I want to share our why. Why would somebody do something like this? I think I got this kind of divine revelation last night that sometimes that will set people free. And you'll see what I mean. So like I said, you might not have a big, earth shaking why you would do this. But I think that there's something in here about that. So I'm going to roll it back. We're going to do our thing, whatever our thing looks like.
Lord, oh Lord.
Y'all in the chat, do it where you are. Join us. It's Monday. Might as well go into it with a spirit of freedom and happiness and joy. We're choosing joy. We want you to choose joy with us. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. is it? Yeah, get the people in the parking lot. That's what I'm saying. Hilarious. Get the people in the parking lot in it. Oh my God. That blessed me so. Okay, I know y'all catch your breath like I'm catching my breath. I got.
What you mean? I'm in shape.
Yes, we are. I'm in shape too. My shape is just a little different. Hold on, I gotta get my Instagram people in here.
Well, hold up.
Hello, IG. What's up? You just missed the total 100% dance party. You'll have to go back and catch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope to see what that is all about. Because if you'd like to join at some point, we'd love to have you. So Pamela's saying, let's go, ladies and gents. Doc's saying, what's up? And hey, Michael Corpening. Hey, little brother. Good to see you. Leola says, makes me happy and excited about class. And Miss Helen says, good morning. And Michael is singing for us, I'll be your light. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So why do we dance? Like, why would we even do this? What is this about? What are you doing, Jeanette? And I'm going to tell you what my motivation is. Kelly Lynn. Oh, hey, Kelly, what's up? Good to see you, brother. So when we first started doing this, I honestly did it. You remember when I put out the video and I was just dancing and going nuts and going crazy?
Right.
I was doing it because that's the last thing I wanted to be doing when I did it. I wasn't feeling like dancing. I wasn't feeling like celebrating. I wasn't feeling like any of all that happy that you saw. I wasn't feeling it at all. And I'm the kind of person, she said I missed the dance, but I danced enough yesterday. Yes, you did. I'm the kind of person that I can't let things have control of me. I have to be in control of them. And when I get to a certain place, and I know you all as light bearers understand this, but when I get to a certain place, I just refuse to allow other people's stuff or the circumstances and situations rule how I'm going to feel and move and experience life. Listen, we are in a pandemic. People are going home. When I mean home, I mean transitioning to the other. And I can't. So when you saw me dancing, and the joy came in me moving to do. The joy wasn't in the decision to do. The joy came in the action of doing. So I hope that may speak to some people, that sometimes you just have to do it by faith, do it because it's what you need, and trust that what you want to get out of it shows up in the doing, right? Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Why would you get on with this crazy girl in the morning and dance?
Because I didn't want to hear Monique and Jennifer talk about me if I didn't, after I told them I was going to do it. I'm going to be honest.
Peer pressure in a negative bent, but okay, we'll take it.
Well, it's like when you have such a phenomenal family who pushes you to your excellence, which this group is. And I think, knowing Monique and Jennifer and Savalas, and then, you get to see others like Pastor Claiborne be who he is. At some point, you got to, make that choice, decide, to be happy.
Yes, to be free. I love it because most of you know, but some of you may not, that bishop is a Neil. Neil is a bishop. And Bishop is a Neil, I guess, too. Yes. And so like that sense of freedom we all are operating in integrity and character, right? And nobody killing, nobody maiming nothing. We're not being untoward. We're not, So the fact that freedom is something that he chooses and that it was modeled by people and supported by family, that makes me so happy.
Just because we are who we are doesn't mean we need to be, stiff-necked, boring, and, the bump on the log, choose to live, choose to be
life.
You do that, especially when it's modeled from the pulpit, and when it's modeled by church leadership, when it's modeled by, those who are viewed by others as, a little bit higher up, then that tells people that I can live also.
Yes.
And, like I said, I ain't break my leg or back, but I think Elizabeth, I was coming to join because I ain't moved like this in quite a while, but it was fun. It was fun.
And we know you're doing physical therapy. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you get in where you fit in. You can't do, like, sometimes you have to tell yourself, I might not be able to do that. But he texted me, he said, like, I might show up and hand dance. I was like, okay, well, let's hand dance, whatever. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate you so much, brother. And I know that you've inspired somebody else to be themselves and to choose life. That's the important part of that.
Well, thank you. Real quick. I have to go. Yeah. But keep me in prayer because I'm meeting with my surgeon tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And they're going to take a look at double knee replacement. Now, with that being said, I'm coming back stronger, faster, and I'm going to be better than the $6 million man. Why? Because I'm going to fly out to Baltimore to do my dance.
Come on at 1300 Druid Hill. We're waiting on you. And God, we just pray right now that whatever it is that Neil needs, you already have it lined up, guys. So from the top of his head to the soles of his feet, his medical doctors, staff, and crew, everybody that's a part of his healing plan, God, we thank you that it's already done, that it's already decided, that everything he needs from wisdom to medicine is already laid out. Give him the strength to see and know and do exactly how you would have him see, know, and do in this process and situation. I pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Much love.
Much love to you, brother. Dr. J, why get on here and be crazy with us in the morning? Unmute, 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 unmute. Unmute, 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 unmute. There you go.
I had a really rough week last week. And this is just, you shake it off in your head. I've done that, but this is me shaking it off.
Yeah, I love
completely. So yeah, I'm all.
And we know that moving your body actually does help you shake it off from a physiological standpoint. When you move your body, it sends those feel-good hormones through you, and you will shake it off. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Jen. Exactly. All right, Ms. Monique, why get up here and do your dance?
I believe the main reason is to feel connected to other people outside of this house. And I feel that the community that you have built and are continuing to build we're growing in such a unique way internally. And I was thinking, as you all were speaking, I really don't have people around me who are growing in this way, in such a holistic way. Adding spirituality, adding personal development, mindset work, all the things. And it just feels good to be a part of a community of like-minded people, of like-minded spirits.
Hey, we love that, because that's what we need so much right now, right? And I always say, and you all believe this, I know you all have the same philosophy, like if you can't find it, go build it, right? Like if you can't find the space that you're needing, sorry, that's me on Periscope. If you can't find the community you're looking for, go build it, right? And that's what we've done. And I couldn't have done it without you all. And I'm so glad that you are a part of it. Going back to the chat rooms, yes. Pamela Williams says, dancing helps me celebrate life while I stomp out the negativity under my feet. Michael Corpening says, that's why David danced. He danced so vigorously that he came on out of his clothes. I love that mindset. It's absolutely liberating. Yes, it is. Candace says happiness is freedom. And everybody was praying for Neil, and I put those up. Pamela Gill shares, Jeanette, you felt me. I wasn't in a place of celebrating last week. You remember Pam danced with us last week. But because of circumstances and loss of life and her family, I needed to celebrate life, and I'm always ready to celebrate. Thank you for all the dancing and celebrating life with joy. Yay, we send you much love, Miss Pamela. Keep thriving. We love you. We love you. Michael says, yeah, if you can't find it, go build it. That's what I'm talking about today. Ladies, thank you for being on. I appreciate you all so much. I hope that you stick around and become a part of the discussion as we talk about toxic people. Love y'all to life. Bye-bye. Toxic people. Candace says, yesterday, I don't know why, but I just felt like dancing. It felt freeing. I'm telling you, it's freeing. And IG folks, hello, Connell Black. Hello, Mr. Mincy. Hello to those of you on IG. You all are welcome to join us always to dance and to do our thing, right? Today we're talking about toxic people. And I've got a lot to share with you today, honestly. So what I hope that you will do is take some screenshots. Good. Ah, love you, Pamela. Good topics. Thank you. I hope you all will take some screenshots because I think that this is going to be something that really blesses you. Thanks for the hearts over here, IG. Hey, I see you on Periscope tapping out hearts. Take screenshots. Go back and watch this replay. If you're going to share it, this is when we need to share it because the lesson is about to begin in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Yeah, the lesson begins now. So toxic people, that's what we're talking about today. And I want to dedicate to this show in particular to many influencers in my life. First of all, my mommy, Eva Pearl Smith, who's watching from Alabama. I love you, boo-boo. She's the epitome of class, but she reminds me constantly that she will walk to Baltimore and cut anybody I need cut. Okay, that's you have to have one of those kinds of influencers in your life. I'm blessed that it's my mom. Another influencer I want to shout out today is Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar, for those of you who don't really know my story, was an influencer to me when I was still in news and is still an entertainment host. And he passed away in 2012. And for those of you who are connected to the tribe and you want a nice little lesson about, listening to the wisdom on the inside of you, then join me in the Empowerment Tribe group right after this. I'm going to do a quickie little live about the story about behind Zig Ziglar and influence in my life and even his influence in his death. Past this, Wayne said he couldn't get any sound on Instagram. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me know. I wonder if this mic is not working. Thanks, Wayne. But I'm glad you made the jump to the Great Divide over here. Y'all let me know if you can hear on IG. Russ Russell, what's up, Russ? Russ says he saw Zig Ziglar in Nashville about 20 years ago. He was the real deal. There should be a 5-minute Zig talk for everyone every morning. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Candace says, I'll be behind her. Oh, you talk about my mom who will cut somebody? Absolutely. I love it. Mama's got my back. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Zig was one of the most popular motivational speakers and sales trainers. He didn't have an easy life. He grew up in Alabama. He was out of Coffee County, Alabama, which we call LA, Lower Alabama. And his father died, I think, when he was like 5 years old. And he was, near one of the babies in a large family. So now here's his mom with all these kids. And he says that from, just below the age of 12 to his adult life, he paid for every piece of clothes you ever saw him wear. Like that was the work ethic that he had to have in place. He wasn't a great student by his own admission. He didn't do well in school. He got into the military. And through the military, he was offered another shot at education. Hey, Periscope people, I see you. He was offered education. He still didn't do well there. He got a sales job. And, one morning he didn't want to go into his sales job. And, his higher level self told him, listen, you gave him your word, you're going to be there. Go do it. Go do it. So he went in, and one of the people that was in charge of him, one of his managers told him, spoke life into him and basically told him, I see greatness in you and you're going to do great things. When you decide to do it, you're going to do great things. And he became one of the world's most popular motivational speakers and sales trainers. As Russ Russell just said, I love saying your whole name. I never say Russ. It's always Russ Russell because I love a good alliteration, Russ. Just like Zig Ziglar. You got to say the whole name. He was one of those people that was doing motivational speaking back before motivational speaking really came for the forefront. And for me, thanks for the heart, y'all. He was one of the people who spoke into and planted seeds for coaching in me before even Anthony Robbins had impact on me. Some of his most famous quotes that you might have heard but didn't know who they belong to were, your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. You don't have to be great at something to start, but you have to start to be great at something. These are just a few of the great quotes that come from Zig Ziglar. And he used to ask this question, are you a SNIOP? Are you a SNIOP? And you're like, what in the world are you talking about? What is a SNIOP? That is a person who is susceptible. It's an acronym, right? Are you susceptible to or sensitive to the negative influence of other people? Are you susceptible or sensitive to the negative influence of other people? Kelly says he had to cross train in sales and his books were a great help. Yeah, absolutely. I go on YouTube, watch some of his stuff. A great resource, even now, even today. But that was his question. Are you a SNIOP? Somebody who is susceptible or sensitive to the negative influence of other people. And that's what we're talking about today. How do you deal with toxic people? How do you deal with toxic people, right? So by definition, what are we talking about? Toxic people, it's a person with toxic qualities. It's anybody who's abusive, unsupportive, unhealthy emotionally, causes unhealthy emotions in you, someone who's basically trying to bring you down more than up, right, with their behavior. That's what toxic people are. And I also love a couple of other influencers that I want to mention. You all know our beloved Reverend Dr. Patrick Claiborne. I was working for the government at one point and going through some stuff. And he made this very wise statement to me. He said, you know, with toxic people or toxic environments, you're either going to become it, get beat down by it, or defeat it. And sometimes defeating is in leaving, right? You either become it, get beat down by it, or defeat it. And sometimes defeating it is in leaving. So true. And so what I want to do today is I want to give you a couple of things to just wash over you, because I understand that it's not easy to deal with toxic people for many reasons. Sometimes toxic people are people attached to you through proximity, through people that are important to you, through your job, you know, family, all these types of things. So sometimes it can be easier said than done, but you can do it. You can do it. Thank you. Thank you for your wisdom. Always, Patrick Claiborne, who's in the house. Yes, yes. And so Zig also had another quote that I loved. If somebody dumped garbage in your house, you would call the police. If they dump a load of garbage in your mind, which is far more valuable, you need to change the channel immediately. Immediately. Immediately, right? We wouldn't allow somebody to dump garbage in our house. So why would we let them do it in our mind? Just things I want to wash over you. Take screenshots so you can remind yourself of these things when net's not around. Okay. Here's another good one. The Dalai Lama, who is said to be and thought to be a high spiritual role model, right? Let go of negative people. They only show up to share complaints, problems, disastrous stories, fear, and judgment on others. If somebody's looking for a bin to throw their trash into, make sure it's not your mind. They're speaking the same thing, aren't they? They're speaking the same thing. Trash. Take out the trash. And so if you saw the header in the post today, I said, listen, we're talking about dealing with toxic people. We're taking out the trash. We're taking out the trash. You can't let it live in your mind. You can't let it live in your environment. But there is a way we have to go about trying to deal with toxic people, right? And I think that's the most important thing, because we all have toxic people in our lives, and some of them just can't be avoided. So what do? If it's a parent-in-law, a sibling, a spouse, a friend of a friend, a coworker, a boss, a laborer, a co-laborer with you, family, neighbors, we have to focus on cutting out that negativity out of our lives. Because even if you go, listen, sometimes it's my spouse, sometimes it's my mom, sometimes it's this person, sometimes you can't cut the person out, but you can cut out the negativity. You have to retrain people, and you have to retrain yourself. So there is a way of dealing with it. Hey, Reverend Wingo, I see you. There is a way of dealing with it that doesn't make you a bad person. So you have to let go of the negativity. You have to let go of the mindset of guilt, and you have to focus on emotional well-being and practicing true self-care. That's how we get through it. You don't have to throw them out, the people out, but you do have to reject the negativity that has impact, right? Pamela Williams says, in my younger life, I had them in my family. Ooh-wee, at one point I was surrounded, verbally negative. They didn't think they were toxic. They thought it was creative advice and thought I could grow from it. It left a residue that took years to overcome. It became normal. Yeah, and I think there's several people that can relate to that, Pam. I think there's several people that can relate to that. And what we want to do is we want to break that habit. We want to break that cycle. And first, to be able to break a cycle, you have to know that something's wrong with it, right? You can't break a behavior. You won't break a behavior if you don't think there's anything wrong with it or you feel guilty about it. And so real quick, and this is for you to take screenshots, I want to shout out Vanessa Van Edwards, who has a website and a blog that I really liked how she shared the types of toxic people. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the types of toxic people. I just want you to get to how do you deal with toxic people. Maybe one day we'll go back through the types, but this is just, again, for your consideration, for your knowledge, right? So that we can work through some stuff. So we've got the conversational narcissist. The conversational narcissist, this person that always interrupts you. They, they talk at you, not to you. They love to talk because they love to hear themselves talk. They don't really ask you questions or wait for your responses. Zig used to have this saying, don't tell anybody your problems, because 90% of them really don't care, and the other 10% are happy you have them anyway. But conversational narcissists, these are the people that will completely end up being self-centered and just suck everything you have out of yourself. So no need to make an investment there. Straitjacket people are the people who want to control everything and everyone around them. They want everything locked down. They want to be in charge of what you do, what you say, and even what you think and how you think, right? And they tend to freak out when you disagree with them or have wisdom or insight that you want to share about them, right? In a relationship, these people give you no breathing room. They're constantly nagging. And the goal for them is to get you in alignment with them because they're right. They can't be wrong. You have to be very careful when you go after trying to be in some sort of relationship with these people, because they will just attack you emotionally. And they're really after your mental freedom until you have nothing left, because for whatever reason, what's going on in them needs to control you. Run. The emotional moocher. Are you all able to see these pretty well? The emotional moocher, known as a spiritual vampire, because they tend to suck the positivity out of you or bleed you dry. These are the people who always have something sad, negative, or pessimistic to say, right? Never positive. Emotional moochers. The drama magnet. Something's always wrong. Something is always wrong. It's always about a problem. They're always in crisis. And all they want is your empathy, your sympathy, your support, but they do not want your advice and they do not want to grow. I know some of you who are attached to drama magnets right now, and you think if you just say the right thing or get them the right resource that this is going to help them. And until these people want to grow and want to come out of a fixed mindset, it's not going to happen. They're more committed to getting the sympathy and empathy from being in a constant state of crisis. The JJ is a jealous, judgmental person. Now, this is something she made up and I like it. A JJ is a jealous, judgmental person. They're toxic because they have so much self-hate, they can't be happy for anybody around them. And typically their jealousy comes out of judgment, criticism, and gossip. According to them, everyone is awful, uncool, or somehow lacking, not up to their standards, right? If somebody starts gossiping about other people around you, be careful because you don't know what they're telling other people about you, right? The JJs. The fibbers are the exaggerators, and it's exhausting, she says, to have a toxic deceiver in your life, whether they tell little falsehoods or major lies. It's impossible to trust a liar in a relationship because the dishonesty just drains you. The fibber. The tank. The tank is somebody who crushes everything in its wake. A human tank is always right. Doesn't think or take anybody else's feelings or ideas into account. They constantly put themselves, their needs, their desires, their whole way of being first, right? They're incredibly arrogant and see their personal opinions as facts. They don't see any other perspective as being viable. What they think, what they feel is a fact. And they think this because they often put themselves in a position to be the smartest person in the room. So they see every conversation and a person as a challenge to be won over to themselves. Because certainly nobody else could have any insights or wisdom, right? They rarely see other people as their equals. They always think they're better than anybody else. They always think they know more than anybody else. And it's a challenge trying to love and be in relationship with these people because their only goal is to run you over and to win you to their side so that you yell, "You're right." Okay? Then toxic. That's all I'll say about that. Toxic, toxic, toxic. So those are the different types of people. And now I can feel y'all getting tight. Let it go. You're thinking about somebody's name. You're thinking about somebody that you know is a JJ. You're thinking about somebody right now. Let it go. We're letting them go. And we're going to be empowered with what to do about it, right? We're letting it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right. So we're going to empower ourselves because there are ways that we can deal with toxic people. So let's get to the empowerment portion of our program, shall we? Yes, we shall. All right. First things first. She said, we love the bell. You know, I love good sound effects, girl. First thing, set limits with toxic people. Think of it this way. If a complainer was smoking, you wouldn't sit there all afternoon and inhale the smoke, the secondhand smoke. Now, if you're a smoker, this analogy doesn't work for you. But if you're not a smoker, pick something else that you don't do. You wouldn't sit there and just take it from somebody. You wouldn't sit there and just smell secondhand smoke, right? You would distance yourself, and you should do the same with complainers and toxic people. A great way to set limits is to ask complainers how they intend to fix the problem. That's a complainer. Now, some of those other things, you just pivot and remove yourself from the situation. But always make toxic people, the one thing that you can always do. Now, listen, they're not going to want to see the truth about themselves. That's the one common thing. I don't care which type of toxic person it is. They do not want to be a mirror. They don't want a mirror to see their behavior. They've chosen that behavior because it works for them. There's a reason that they do it. And they're probably more committed to that than personal growth. And this makes it hard for people who are committed to personal development and growth. Because sometimes some of you will say, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I shouldn't have said this, or maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I shouldn't have shared truth with them. Listen, you can choose to walk around on eggshells your whole entire life. But the truth is, for some toxic people, it doesn't matter if you put it in a gold gilded box that had sparkling angel wings on the side of them and holy water. They're not going to receive it anyway because they're not ready to see truth. So you have to set limits when it comes to toxic people. I hope you're getting your screenshots. The second thing, choose your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely. Successful people know how important it is to live and fight another day, especially when your foe is toxic. In conflict, unchecked emotions make you dig your heels in and fight the kind of battle that can leave you severely damaged. When you read and respond to your emotions, you're able to choose the battles wisely and only stand your ground when the time is right. Now, if you're dealing with a toxic person, and I already told you there's several different areas where you might have to encounter a toxic person in your family, in your relationships, and on your job, all kinds of things. There's some battles you may not be able to win. You might start a battle and say, I'm not going to win this war. It's okay to retreat. And maybe what you've done is plant seeds so that somebody else comes behind you and waters it so that eventually they grow into the fruit of personal development. Right? Candace says, I dated a toxic person who was who has a part of each I dated a toxic person who has a part of each detox person for 5 years. I'm not sure, baby, what that is. They use the Bible as a controlling mechanism. Hate that. I had to literally figure out Candace and build my own relationship with God, separated myself, cleansed myself from that situation, shifted my mindset, and removed them. Cancel them, boo-boo. Cancel them. Subscription ended. It's over. Snip, snip. So glad you got out of that. And I'm sure you're not the only one. Choose your battles wisely. 3, rise above it all. Recognize and distance yourself from behaviors that are toxic. It's not easy to rise above it when some people are determined to drag you down into the fray. Remember, some people are committed to it. Controlling you is their life's mission for whatever reason. And the reason usually is low self-image, low self-esteem. And so to make me feel better, I got to thumb you. But recognize that people are toxic. That's the first step toward desensitizing yourself from their actions and words. Especially for you light bearers and creative types, people's words have impact. I mean, for everybody, we all kind of at some level care about what people say, but you have to learn when to care less. All right. Ask yourself, do I value this person's opinion? And do they have my best interest at heart? Just because somebody feels something or says something or brings something to you, right? Just because that happens doesn't mean that it's fact, even if they think it's the only truth in the world. You have to ask yourself, do I value their opinion and do they have my best interest at heart? If the answer to both of those questions is a resounding yes, then don't worry so much about what they say. Right? If they, hold on, I'm trying to move this banner so we can see. Boom. Okay. If yes, then you consider it. That should be no. If no, then don't worry about what they're talking about. Do not worry about what they're talking about. If they don't care about you and you don't value their opinion, do not let it hold weight. Don't let it, take it out with the trash. Right? Take it out with the trash. All right. Number 4, focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. It sounds cliche, but I also know that if you dwell on, if you marinate in how infuriating toxic people can be or the problems that they create, it will stress you the heck out. How do I know? Don't focus on it. Do your best to catch yourself when you start to fixate on the negative. Try to consciously shift your thoughts to solutions and more positive situations. Toxic people do not deserve the real estate of your mental energy. Your mental energy is worth more than you know. Listen, if you can manifest things with your mind, that's power. So why should we spend our time allowing them to take up space? By the way, the frequencies of these different bowls, you might feel them in different places in your head and your heart. They resonate. Sound therapy. They resonate in different places in your mind. So sometimes I might do this one when we're doing hard coaching stuff, because you start thinking about people and the toxic people and what they do and how they do and how it affects you. And so you might hear this one, which rings. It should ring in your head, in your heart area, in here. You should hear it resonate. I don't know if it translates through this, but you should feel it vibrate in your head and your heart area. And then this resonates a little lower, right in here, your heart and your core. Right? Okay, see, that's what you do. Don't focus on them. Focus on you and what you need to do to tell them, Miss Leola, keep it moving. Absolutely. Absolutely. You felt it in your head? Yeah. Yep. And we're celebrating Candace. Glad that she could move out of that. Jennifer said, run, 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 run. And I'm sorry, Reverend Doctor, you were praying for Neil. Want to make sure that he sees that if he comes back. All right. Last one. Utilize your support system. This is so important. Hopefully you have a support network of people who are not toxic. Rally those people. It can be really cathartic to vent to someone that you value and who values you, if only to keep things in perspective that you're not the problem. That's important. You got to have that. You got to have that support around you, because when you're attacked on all sides, you need, hello, Shaky. Glad to have you in the room. You need people to tell you it's not you. Especially if there are known toxic people within your family, your environment, your workflow, it's not you. And don't let people make you think it's you, right? Get around people that can share perspective. Your real friends will be there to remind you that you're amazing. Keep them close. Keep them close, right? I wanted to share like all these things with you. I told you I had a bunch of stuff for you today, because I just think that in this day and time, as we are trying to move into our higher next level selves, whether it's you're trying to pursue your dream, which a lot of us are on that path to purpose journey, whether you're trying to get to the next level of yourself, and you, like Candace shared, hey, I'm trying to make sure that I move and flow in a way that helps me become a better person. You will always find these border bullies that show up as toxic people. And we got to know how to deal with them. We got to know, what does it mean? First of all, what is a toxic person? Am I able to identify them when they show up? Am I able to not only identify them, but know how to deal with them? Am I able to know how to deal with them? Because the other thing is, the guilt that is attached, depending on who the person is in your life, could keep you stuck. And we don't want that. Oh my God. We can't have you stuck, right? You can't be stuck. So you have to make a decision first that you are worthy and deserving of dealing with toxic people in a healthy way. Not even in a way that, we're not trying to cause hurt, harm, or danger to them. That's one thing. You don't want to get to a place where you want to set their car on fire and whatnot. You got to handle it while you're still in a place where it's healthy. Because if not, you become that slow burn. Y'all know slow burn people, where they build it up, they wait, they don't address it, they build it up, they wait. And then at the end of the day, what happens? You burst like bam. Monique says, I am so happy to say that I've set up some incredible limits with those who have been toxic for me. I feel pretty safe with those who have access to me. That's important. That's what it's about. Candace says, here's the thing. We have that support system that will tell you the right thing, but we don't listen. Ugh. Ugh. I wish I had listened, but God's timing is the best timing. Now I have someone who I've prayed for. Amen. That's good. God will always send you somebody. Last little tips come from my mentor, the Zigster, Zig Ziglar. 3 keys to stop being a SNIOP. Remember we were talking about a SNIOP? Somebody who is sensitive to the negative influences of other people. That's what SNIOP stands for. Here's what his tips were. Know who you are and what character qualities and attributes and attitudes are important to you. Know who you are. What do you believe in? What do you stand for? Because if you don't know that, it makes it hard to stand up to toxic people. You got to know what your philosophies are. You got to know what you stand for. If you disagree with a toxic person, you got to be able to say, here's my truth. I hear you, but here's my truth. I just don't agree. And then walk away. 2, guard your mind. Do you automatically reject negative input? I would say that this part of the process is different for different people depending on your level of weightlifting. If you have experience in this where you can hear negativity and you can weigh it and go, is there some truth in there? If you can do that, then okay. But if you're not in a place where you can receive it, you might have to jot it down to not hold it in your head and go back and revisit it. But don't let negativity come on you to the degree that now you are buried under it and now you've accepted it as truth, because not all feedback is truth. It's just their perspective. It's just their preference. Sometimes there can be truth in it. And so if you're able to extract that, that's what we're going for. But before you can get to that, it can't send you into such a deep depression, right? So next, change the channel. Do you leave the situation when it's obvious the output you're receiving doesn't match what you're believing? Do you leave the situation when it's obvious the output you're receiving doesn't match what you're believing? Change the channel. Remember that quote we had from Zig that said, if somebody dumped garbage in your house, you'd call the police. If they dump it in your mind, which is far more valuable, you got to change the channel immediately. Don't keep taking that stuff in. Know your limits. Set your boundaries. Retrain people on how to treat you. This is so important. You got to retrain people on how to treat you. You might not be able to get rid of the toxic people that you have to deal with that are part of your family or in your life. What's up, Randy Deason? But what you can do is deal with how you handle the negativity. You do not have to deal with it. Welcome, first timer on Periscope, Nabil 695855154. Good to have you on. I hope that these nuggets made sense to you. We don't want to be a SNIOP, a person who is susceptible and sensitive to the negative influences of other people, as Zig would say, right? We don't want to be that. The only way you cannot be that is to make your determination not to fight them to win, but to fight the negativity. Set boundaries around yourself. You continue to grow. They either come or they don't. Thumbs up, bruh. Thumbs up. Ms. Gwendolyn says, I've been social distancing from toxic people for a long time. That's a beautiful photo, by the way. Yes, yes to that, sister. Social distance from toxic people. Need we say more? Leola says, Jeanette, thank you, my sister, for your coaching. So life-changing for me. God bless you and all my Bethel family. That's what I'm born to do. If I'm not doing that, I'm not doing what I'm created to do. So thank you for the affirmation and the confirmation, my sister. Monique says, retrain people on how to treat you. Yep, one of the first things you taught me. Mwah. Yes, yes, yes. Those of you who are new, I hope you're following. Please follow. Please, please follow, because this is what we do here. We're all about the come up. We are all about getting to our next level selves. And Mondays are all about Mindset Mondays. Wednesdays, we do devotional, a little spiritual bent, because we try to take care of the mind, the body, and the spirit. And then Fridays, we come back for live coaching. And it's all good. Now, for those of you, and shout out to my men and my ladies that are in my coaching groups. They are doing heavy lifting, and they're about to see some tremendous breakthroughs, and I'm so excited for them. If you're interested in more information on my women's coaching groups, men's coaching groups, or one-to-one coaching, go to JeanetteSmith.com. I also offer, because of my former life as a Emmy Award-winning broadcaster, network news anchor, and entertainment host, I offer broadcasting classes on these platforms like StreamYard that I'm on now, and other ways to level up your streaming. So there's content creator coaching classes that I also offer. You'll find that also on my website. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you are not connected to me, I highly recommend it. I always try to do things that will make sure that you are thriving. Just text the word release to 22999. You'll get texts from me. You'll get information on pop-ups, different things that I don't always put out there. One of my coaching guys says the best that there is. I appreciate you. God bless you, sir. And so that's the way that you stay in communication with me. We text back and forth. Hey, this is going on. We celebrate people. People text me, tell me what they're celebrating today. If you all haven't said so, let me know what you're celebrating. Put it in the chat. Even those of you on replay, I come back and I put those up and we share them in our Facebook group. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, why aren't you a part of the Facebook group? Why not? We have a thriving Facebook group. All you have to do is go to the facebook.com/groups/empowerment tribe. I'm going to put it in there for you. It's www.facebook.com/groups/empowerment tribe. Boom. Come join us. We'd love to have you. We celebrate our new folks every Friday, and we have a good time on Fridays. You have to come see what that's all about. Thanks to those of you who danced in the week with me today. There's no other way but to choose joy. And doggone it, we're going to do it. Choose joy every day. I don't care what people are saying to you, about you, or behind your back, about you, to you, through you. Do you. Do you. I appreciate you all too. I really do. I appreciate you all too, more than y'all know. Thank you so much. Love y'all to life. Now this. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey to help empower your mind, your body, and your spirit. I hope you've enjoyed our time together as much as I have. Make sure you stay connected. Become part of the tribe, the inner circle. Text the word release to 22999 and get all the updates on events and happenings and pop-ups that I do. Let's grow this community. Bring more hearts and minds into the room. Share the streams. Join our tribe, our Facebook group, and support through products and services that'll help you continue to make better decisions for better living. Like this resource, From Dream to Reality, Navigating the Path to Your Life Purpose. This top-selling action journal has helped thousands of people find and follow their purpose. You can get it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The link is in the post. The Empowerment Tribe is about empowering one another. So follow me on social media so I can follow you back and see what you're up to. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Periscope. Thanks again for tuning in. We are the Empowerment Tribe. Together, we are light bearers in the world. Love you to life. See you next time.